All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to work with the tape measure tool. And the tape measure tool allows you to create guides. And anytime you have a unique construction geometry to help you measure space and distance, I can use the tape measure to help with those types of tasks. So we're going to do a little floor plan here. And I'm going to start from scratch. You go to File and New. And we're going to get rid of our little mascot here. And I'm going to draw a room that's 20 by 20 feet. So I'm going to grab my rectangle tool. I'm going to click and drag outwards. I'm going to type in 20, apostrophe, comma, 20, apostrophe, enter. Now I've got a room that's 20 by 20 feet. I'm going to rotate it so I can look down. And I want to subdivide this room into 10 feet. I want to make a wall between the two sides of the room. This is exactly 10 feet. And then I'm going to make 8-inch walls all around. So I'm going to grab my tape measure tool. And since this is a flat surface, I just start in the upper on the end point and drag inwards this way. And then I'm going to type in 10 feet, hit enter. And it's going to give me a mark that's exactly at 10 feet. So now from that mark, I want to make walls that are 8 feet. So I'm going to click from that guide point to the left and type in 4 inches. Click from that guide point to the right and type in 4 inches. So now I've got a 8-inch, the measurement for an 8-inch wall. So now I'm going to grab my offset tool. I'm going to click on the edge of this and drag inwards 8 inches. And now I'm going to grab my rectangle tool and I'm going to find those 2 points on either side of there. Once it snaps to that one, I want to snap it to the other one. Let's try again. Start over here. Well, it wants to snap to that one, so let's just snap to it. And then do it the other side as well. Same thing. There we go. And then we'll erase the architecture in between. Show something like this. And now we're going to push-pull this up 10 feet. I'm going to click and drag up and then type in 10 feet. And that's an example of one of the ways in which you can use your tape measure. Now I'm going to create a door. And I want the door to be 3 feet wide, 7 foot tall, and 4 feet away from the edge of the room here. So I'm going to grab my tape measure and I'm going to start there and drag inwards and type. Let's make it 4 feet away from the wall. So I just type it 4 feet, hit enter. Now from that guy, I'm going to drag again and type in 3 feet. And then I'm going to start from the bottom and drag upwards and type in 7 feet. And I now have a door that's 4 foot from the wall, that's 3 feet wide and 7 foot high. So now if I zoom in a little bit, I'm going to grab my rectangle tool, click in that lower right-hand corner, drag up corner to corner, find those edges, snap to, grab my push-pull tool and just snap that off, and there's my door. And so that's an example of how you can use the tape measure tool. So I can toggle it on and off. By default, it makes guides. If I click and drag upwards, it's going to make a guide. But if I hold down the Option or Control key, then it will just measure. So if I click and just drag up, you see that's 10 feet. Okay. If I click right now, it's I toggled off the guide. And so if I click and drag there, that's 20 feet, right? If I tap Control or Option on a Mac now, it'll make a guide. Okay. So I can use this to just measure. If I grab from the corner and just drag upwards and I click, I can just make a space. And it makes these little notches that you can use in your architecture as well. Okay. So I can toggle that on and off. And then let's look at the guides. If I go to View, I can turn the guides on and off. Now the guides are still there. I'm just hiding them. I can grab my eraser tool and I can click and erase my guides. Undo. If I have a lot of guides and I want to erase them all at the same time without using the eraser tool, I can go to Edit and choose Delete Guides, and that will delete all the guides. And next to the tape measure tool is a protractor, and it looks like a protractor. And what I can do with this is measure things on a radius. So if I wanted to click and drag out and wanted this to be 20 degrees, I would click, drag out, and type in 20 degrees. I have to click and then type in 20 degrees. And it's going to give me a mark that's 20 degrees from that corner, right? So that's how I use that protractor. That's if I want a radius around a measurement. And that's an example of how to use your tape measure and your protractor.